I've just returned from a trip to Washington where I met with a bunch of U.S. senators, Republicans, and we're really able to talk with them individually, one-on-one, about what's going on in the Senate. And they report that the Democratic Party has absolutely lost its mind, its collective mind. They've just gone over the cliff. They have decided that the reason they lost the election of 2016 has nothing to do with those blue-collar, white, high school graduate men. Nothing at all. It had to do, or even with Hillary's scandals, it had to do with the idea that they nominated a centrist Democrat who did not do enough to animate the base and bring them out to vote. And that if only they had nominated Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren, they probably would have won the election. And they are determined to stake out an agenda materially to the left of Hillary's and probably even to the left of Obama's, and to oppose the Trump and his nominations and his bills with everything in them as a way of rallying that base. They're in a kind of echo chamber with their own media, and in effect the liberal bias of the media is undercutting their capacity for analysis, because they say something and the media reverberates with it and sends it back to them and runs headlines. Millions are marching with the Democrats and agreeing with everything they say. Republicans in disarray, Trump's base coming apart. And you read the headlines and you assume that Trump is in serious trouble. You talk to the Republicans in the Senate and they're ecstatic. They're having a great time. The unity is incredible and their belief in Trump very, very strong, even some people who are his former enemies. And you really understand that the Democrats are living in a complete East Coast, West Coast, New York, LA fantasy world in which they and the media hug each other and go off into the sunset together, each telling the other how smart they are and how right they are and how effective they are. That's the same media that got it entirely wrong about Trump's ability to win the nomination and Trump's ability to win the election. That's the same group of pundits and prognosticators and pollsters that gave them that feedback that was so disastrous during the election are continuing to give them skewed and nutty feedback. And the result is that the Democrats are moving so far to the left you can't even recognize them. Truly, the lunatics have taken over the asylum in this case. And the Democratic Party is unrecognizable at this point. That, of course, is what Reagan did to the Democrats. He pushed them so far to the left, nominating candidates like Dukakis and Mondale. By his policies and by co-opting the center, he made the Democrats marginalized to the left. And it's only when Bill Clinton spoke of being a new kind of Democrat and embraced positions like the death penalty and welfare reform that he was able to really make the Democrats a coherent national party with a shot at winning national elections. Now, and then under the leadership of Obama, they moved decisively to the left. But there was a charismatic leader who could bail them out and could explain to the American voters what they were doing in terms where he had at least a prayer of getting their support. But now they've lost that, and with it they've lost their mind. Now, the more the Democrats become intransigent, the more they risk losing the power of the filibuster, and that is their only source of power. So when they say, go to hell, we're not passing this, you can't get 60 votes, and they say that in a way where the public feels they're being irresponsible, their days are then numbered, because the Republicans, anytime they want, by a simple majority, can pull the rug out from under them and require 50 votes to pass a bill, not 60, at which point Trump's program breezes through, and the Democrats are completely and totally impotent.